The book of 1 Kings opens at a pivotal moment in Israel's history, a time when the echoes of Solomon's golden age have faded into uncertainty and unrest. The once united kingdom is now fractured, torn apart by old rivalries and new ambitions after Solomon's death. The northern tribes seeking independence and a new identity break away to form the Kingdom of Israel, while Judah and Benjamin remain steadfast, holding on to tradition and the holy city of Jerusalem. What follows is a turbulent era of civil strife, where brother turns against brother, and the land is scarred by conflict. Kings, once chosen to shepherd their people, now abandon their sacred duty, blinded by pride and fear. The monarchy's promise, once a beacon of hope, has decayed into betrayal and violence. Rulers chase after foreign idols, leading their people into spiritual and moral darkness as uncertainty and fear grip the nation. The throne, once a symbol of justice and unity, now stands empty or contested, coveted by the ambitious and the power-hungry, fueling endless intrigue and rivalry. This chapter sets the stage for a relentless cycle of failed leadership, where kings rise and fall, but true peace remains elusive. In this chaos, we are left longing for a true king, one who will restore justice, heal the nation, and never betray his people. The prophet Jehu stands before King Baasha, his voice echoing across the arid land. He condemns Baasha for walking in the same sinful footsteps as Jeroboam, leading Israel astray with idolatry and injustice. Jehu's words are not just a warning, they are a declaration of doom, a prophecy that Baasha's legacy will be cut short because he refused to turn from evil. Baasha's dynasty is doomed to destruction, just as he once destroyed Jeroboam's entire family. The cycle of violence and betrayal continues, and the consequences of his actions are now inescapable. The very foundation of his rule is shattered by the same sins he once condemned in others. After Baasha's death, his son Elah inherits the throne, but the shadow of prophecy looms over him. Elah's reign is marked by indulgence and carelessness, as he seeks comfort in wine and feasting while unrest brews among his people and his own officials. In a moment of treachery, Elah is assassinated by Zimri and one of his trusted commanders during a drunken celebration. The palace, once a symbol of stability, becomes the stage for betrayal and bloodshed. Zimri wastes no time. He ruthlessly wipes out every member of Baasha's family, leaving no heir alive. In a single brutal purge, the prophecy is fulfilled. And the house of Baasha is erased from history in a storm of violence and fear. But Zimri's triumph is short-lived. His reign lasts only 7 days before the army, disillusioned and angry, turns against him. The soldiers refuse to follow a king who seized power through murder and treachery. The army rallies behind Omri, their commander, and with a single voice they declare him king. The fate of Israel shifts once again as Omri takes the throne, promising a new era but bringing his own ambitions and struggles. Cornered and desperate, Zimri locks himself inside the royal palace. As flames consume the walls around him, he chooses death over capture, setting the palace ablaze and perishing in the inferno, a tragic end to a brief and bloody rule. The rapid succession of kings, each one falling faster than the last, exposes the deep instability at the heart of Israel. The people watch anxiously as thrones are claimed and lost in quick succession, their future uncertain. Each new ruler seems worse than the last, as the cycle of sin and retribution continues. Israel's throne, once a seat of promise, has become a symbol of chaos and decline. After Zimri's death, Israel splits between Tibni and Omri. Omri prevails, uniting the kingdom through force, not faith. He establishes Samaria as the new capital, securing his dynasty. Omri is a capable nation builder, but his reign is marked by spiritual failure. He intensifies Israel's idolatry, making it official policy. The Bible judges him harshly. He did more evil than all before him. Omri's worldly success hides a rotten spiritual core. His legacy is a strong kingdom built on rebellion against God. The true measure of a king is not power, but faithfulness. Omri's reign deepens Israel's spiritual crisis. Omri's son Ahab takes the throne in Samaria, plunging Israel deeper into sin. Ahab surpasses all previous kings in evil. He marries Jezebel, a zealous Baal worshipper, sealing a disastrous alliance. Jezebel launches a campaign to replace Yahweh with Baal. Ahab builds a temple and altar for Baal in Samaria, defying God's commandments. Ahab's reign marks the spiritual low point of Israel. The nation's darkness is nearly complete. The stage is set for a dramatic confrontation between idolatry and God's prophet, Elijah. Israel's fate hangs in the balance. 1 Kings 16 is a bleak record of failed kings and deepening darkness. The chapter reads like a somber chronicle, each new ruler repeating the mistakes of the last, plunging the nation further into chaos and despair. The land, once filled with promise, now lies in ruins, its people searching for hope amid the broken stones and shattered dreams. Each ruler's wickedness highlights the need for a different kind of king. The thrones sit empty, echoing with the failures of those who once sat upon them, unable to bring justice or peace. The people's longing for true leadership grows with every disappointment. The refrain, "He did evil in the eyes of the Lord," is repeated like a warning bell, underscoring humanity's deep corruption and the inability of earthly rulers to bring about lasting change. The ancient texts bear witness to a cycle of sin and sorrow. These kings bring only strife and spiritual decay, not peace. The altars are destroyed, the city walls are broken, and the temple lies in ruins, a vivid picture of a nation in spiritual crisis, cut off from the source of true life. Their failures point to the longing for a righteous, promised king. The people wander through the ruins, yearning for someone who can restore what has been lost and lead them into a new dawn. The chapter foreshadows Christ, who would lead with love, not violence. Unlike the kings of old, he would bring healing, hope, and a new way of living, one marked by compassion and grace. No human king can solve the problem of sin. Crowns and statues crumble, but the need for redemption remains. The emptiness of earthly power is laid bare. This cycle of failure prepares the way for divine intervention. Out of the dry ground, new life begins to emerge, a sign that God has not abandoned his people but is preparing something greater. The ruins of these kingdoms make the hope of Christ not just welcome but necessary. In the midst of devastation, the promise of a Savior shines brighter, offering restoration and a future filled with hope. Are you ready for the next chapter? Just click here to go straight to it.